vulnerability in dating. If you're a man and you want to find the right girlfriend or a wife, you have to become more vulnerable, but not in the way the mainstream tells you to become vulnerable. Not vulnerable in a sense of showing your weakness. Apparently, vulnerability also means editing and realizing that you have a fluff on your beard. But we realize, since we're talking about vulnerability anyway, we might as well keep it in. So if you're wondering what that thing is, it's a fluff.
It is.
And admitting how hard life is and acting like a little bitch. That's not what vulnerability means. In this video, I want to give you a couple of very practical ways on how vulnerability can manifest itself in an attractive way without reducing your status in her eyes. Because you can call it playing games, I couldn't care less. If you think that just being weak around women won't lead to them losing respect for you, you're confused, you're lost. And you're okay to be confused, but that confusion leads to them losing interest in you and you not being able to get beyond the first, second, or third date point, and women continuously ditching you for another man who they actually respect and keep respecting. So, first of all, you have to understand that just being weak and demanding certainty from her will never be a good manifestation of vulnerability. It doesn't mean complaining. It doesn't mean putting your head on her shoulder or her lap. These weak things, that is not okay. Whether you believe it or not, they will lose respect for you so instantaneously, so fast. And they might not say it, and they might not even know. She might not even be aware of what's causing it. You might just get a message after the first, second, or third date or later, a couple of months down the line, where she says, I think we're better off as friends. I don't think I'm really feeling it. I think I want to focus on myself. Blah, blah, blah. All nonsense. These are all just manifestations of you having made errors in your communication. One of many is showing vulnerability in the wrong way, showing too much feminine energy. So now how does vulnerability manifest itself in a practical way, or rather in an effective way? Well, it does mean opening up and sharing things that are intimate details. Who says that vulnerability always has to be negative? You can share intimate positive details. So for example, when my brother and my father didn't talk for years, there was a moment where they reunited, and it was an extremely vulnerable moment where for years and years they didn't talk, and I kind of facilitated communication on both sides. And then they were literally hugging each other, overlooking one of Germany's largest seas. It was like a scene from a movie. And it was incredibly emotional. And it was such an amazing moment because it was so good for both of them to reunite. That is an example of positive vulnerability. Vulnerability does not mean it has to be negative, right? It doesn't mean you need to always dwell on traumas that happened in the past. No. It can simply mean, I really, really care about animals. I care about freedom of speech. It can mean sharing positive details about yourself. And it can also mean saying, that phase in my life, that was a pretty difficult phase that I went through. For example, you're on a first date or second or third date. You can talk for 20, 30 seconds, 45 seconds about a difficult phase that you went through a couple of years ago. You can say, that was a pretty difficult phase. But hey, we're here now. Boom, that's it. You don't dwell on it for minutes because then the emotions go down. Remember, she's on the date because she wants to experience positive emotions. And if you talk about things that are very heavy, she will start associating heavy emotions with you. So, be vulnerable, but in the first couple of dates, first month or two, it should be mainly lighthearted and fun. And here's the key. It's okay to share things that are on your mind, but you can never place the burden of creating responsibility, of creating certainty on her. You can never place the burden of creating certainty on her. You can never place the burden of positivity on her. You have to first bring all the positive emotions, positivity, joy, laughter, as well as a sense of confidence and certainty from within, and then project it. Vulnerability does not mean asking her to be your psychotherapist, talking about negative shit for too long. It means mentioning it for 15 seconds, a minute or two here and there. But from a point of, that wasn't easy, but now it's good. And even if there's a challenge right now, always saying, it's challenging, I'll find a way or I'll make a way. That is the certainty you always have to bring. And women will lose respect for you if you ask them to solve your problems. This is how men fuck it up several months down the line when they're in a relationship. They expect women to solve their issues. You can't do that. Now, do I ask Fernanda, who's currently holding the light, thank you so much, babe, for input when something comes up, when a challenge comes up? Of course, 100%. She's extremely smart. She always has very intelligent points of views to offer that I may have not, probably oftentimes didn't even consider beforehand. So of course I ask for her input. Why would I want to solve something by myself? Why would I want to not consult other people? Of course. But I bring the emotional certainty of solving it. I do not expect her to make me feel good. That's important. You bring positivity and lightheartedness. And then vulnerability also means laughing in a childish way. Laughing in a childlike manner. When that kindred spirit comes through. You know when you're laughing and the eyes light up because there's so much joy in you? Because you know, we as men, we're always trying to be very, very cool, a little bit too cool for school. And being cool, poised, calm, collected, is important. Not too reactive to define cool within 4 adjectives out of way more that would fall into that is necessary. But you also have to open up for to get insight into your real soul, because that's connection. Remember, women only ever want 2 things from us in a very simplified way: attraction, connection, and trust. And the way connection and trust is built is through vulnerability. So if you just genuinely laugh and smile like a little child for a moment or two, that's amazing. You want to have that fun and positivity where the eyes light up, where she can see, okay, that's truly him. I can really see him. And then also in other moments, I'm not going to be too reactive. If she tells me something that I just don't find too emotionally engaging, I'm not going to say, oh, wow, cool. Most of you are just too validating. Yeah, okay, wow, yeah, interesting. Yeah, there's too much of this nonsense. Just say, okay, cool, I get you. And this is not you playing cool, it's actually being authentic. Because if something emotionally engages me that she says, I'm going to say, that was awesome. That's actually really funny. If she tells a joke that's really funny, I'm going to laugh wholeheartedly. If she tells a joke that wasn't funny at all, I'm going to be like, good try. It's not being cool in a sense, it's actually becoming more authentic. And if you can become vulnerable in an authentic way, where you don't place the burden of creating certainty and positivity on her, but you create those emotions within yourself first, then the probability that you're going to be able to create and sustain attraction for a long period of time by keeping her respect for you high, by keeping yourself in high esteem from her perspective, that's a good thing. Not the most eloquent ending. Okay, I get it. But anyway, you get the point. I wish you all the best. Apply for a free initial consultation call if you want my help with finding the right girlfriend or wife. And then I'll see you soon. Take care.